Throughout history, civilizations have risen to remarkable heights, only to eventually decline. While we often imagine collapse as a sudden catastrophe, research suggests that most societies weakened gradually, over generations. One pattern appears repeatedly in the archaeological and historical record. As civilizations grew more complex, they became more vulnerable. Complexity itself is not inherently destructive. Early in a society's development, increasing complexity often brings benefits. Specialized labor creates efficiency. Bureaucracies coordinate large populations. Infrastructure connects distant regions. Trade networks bring wealth and resources. For a time, these systems strengthen the civilization and improve quality of life. But complexity also creates costs. Each layer of administration requires resources to maintain. Each specialized role depends on others functioning properly. Each trade route needs protection. Each irrigation system needs constant repair. As societies expand, these costs grow faster than the benefits they produce. Historians call this diminishing returns on complexity. The Roman Empire offers a clear example. At its height, Rome commanded territories across 3 continents, supported by an intricate network of roads, aqueducts, military garrisons, and administrative centers. Yet evidence indicates that by the 3rd century, maintaining this vast infrastructure consumed an ever larger share of imperial resources. Tax collection became more difficult as economic productivity stagnated. The currency was debased to pay for military defense. Provinces that once enriched Rome now required subsidies to remain stable. If this analysis interests you, take a moment to subscribe to Why Civilizations Fail. We publish new videos every week, each examining a different aspect of historical decline through careful research and evidence-based reasoning. No clickbait, no speculation, just thoughtful exploration of the patterns that shaped human societies. Subscribing helps us reach more viewers who value depth over drama, and it costs you nothing. Join thousands of others who believe history deserves serious attention. Click subscribe now and enable notifications so you never miss an episode. Similar patterns emerged in other contexts. The Maya civilization of Mesoamerica developed sophisticated cities, complex agricultural systems, and elaborate social hierarchies. Archaeological research points to environmental pressures as populations grew. Soil degradation reduced crop yields. Deforestation affected water availability. The administrative systems designed to manage abundance struggled when resources became scarce. Rather than simplifying, the society attempted to maintain its complexity, which required even more resources. This created a feedback loop that eroded resilience over time. The ancient Mesopotamian city-states faced comparable challenges. Irrigation agriculture allowed these societies to flourish in an arid environment, supporting dense urban populations. But irrigation systems required constant maintenance and coordination. Over centuries, salt accumulated in the soil, reducing fertility. Evidence suggests that yields declined gradually, yet the complex social structure remained in place, demanding the same tribute and labor. When external pressures arrived, whether from climate shifts or competing groups, these societies had less capacity to adapt. Complexity also creates fragility through interdependence. When systems are tightly connected, a failure in one area can cascade through others. A drought affects agriculture, which reduces tax revenue, which weakens military capacity, which invites external threats, which demands more resources. Simple societies can absorb shocks more easily because their parts function independently. Complex societies amplify disruptions. This does not mean complexity always leads to decline. Many societies have sustained high levels of organization for centuries. The key appears to be whether complexity continues to solve problems efficiently or begins to create more problems than it solves. When institutions become rigid, when bureaucracies serve themselves rather than the population, when the cost of coordination exceeds its value, complexity shifts from asset to liability. The process is rarely visible to those living through it. Changes accumulate slowly, often over lifetimes. One generation notices taxes are higher. The next sees infrastructure deteriorating. Later generations accept weakened institutions as normal. By the time decline becomes obvious, the society may lack the resources or flexibility to reverse course. Historical evidence also suggests that declining civilizations often try to solve problems by adding more complexity. They create new administrative positions, impose additional regulations, expand military forces. These measures may provide temporary stability, but they increase the burden on an already strained system. Eventually, the society can no longer support its own weight. Before we conclude, a moment to reflect on why this channel exists. Every week, we examine the forces that shaped civilizations, not through dramatic narratives, but through careful analysis of evidence. We explore environmental pressures, economic systems, and structural vulnerabilities because understanding these patterns helps us think more clearly about our own world. If you value this approach, consider subscribing. Your support enables us to continue this research and present history with the depth and nuance it deserves. Together, we can build a community that values evidence over speculation. Understanding these patterns does not mean collapse is inevitable. It means recognizing that growth and complexity carry trade-offs. Societies that remain adaptable, that can simplify when needed, that maintain reserves for unexpected shocks, demonstrate greater longevity. Those that grow rigid, that cannot reduce complexity even when it becomes counterproductive, often decline gradually until external or internal pressures finish what erosion has begun. The lesson from history is not that civilizations are doomed to fail. Rather, it is that the same forces that enable growth can, over time, contribute to vulnerability. Complexity serves societies well when it solves problems efficiently. But when complexity becomes an end in itself, when systems exist to perpetuate systems, the foundation weakens. Decline unfolds not in a single moment, but across generations, as small strains accumulate into structural fragility. Most civilizations did not collapse from a single blow. They eroded slowly, their capacity diminished by the weight of their own complexity until they could no longer sustain what they had built.